Okay, wonderful. Okay, so nice to meet you, Eleanor.
Likewise.
It's about time I say that we met. I think you and I have been following one another and liking each other's comments and everything for the past uh, 2 months or so.
Yeah, that's right. About that. Yeah, I think so.
Okay, awesome. So first of all, Happy New Year. I know it's the 2nd of January and not first, but well, we scheduled the time for today, so Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you too. I'm really intrigued as to the questions you're going to ask me. So for anybody watching, this is completely off script. So
Oh yes, that's the whole point. That's the point of the Growth Talk. So Growth Talk is coming in raw and talking about naturally both successes and failures, and something that we could all learn from. So why don't you tell me a little about how was 2017 for you and what
oh,
hopes are for 2018?
okay. 2017 was quite a year actually, because um, it was a year that I really changed my marketing up a bit. Before that, I was doing what generally a lot of people in my industry do, writing, copywriting, doing a bit of content marketing and, mainly writing for our clients. And in 2017, I completely changed that. I launched my first online course for email copywriting. And I really switched up my content marketing efforts and decided to be really bold and just put myself out there, because us writers tend to be hiding behind the screen a lot of the times. We're kind of we tend not to be quite bold or come out from behind the keyboard. So I thought, what, I'm going to change that and just try it, be bold, see what happens. And really, it's been really good for my business, because now people see me, are interested in what I can do. And, just recently on LinkedIn at the moment seems to really suit the way I write and what I do, because obviously I'm a storyteller, and LinkedIn currently, we don't know what it's going to turn into or how things, what's going to happen in the future. But certainly for now, LinkedIn is my little place to be. But I would say, before 2017, I was quite into Snapchat, and I got a lot of leads and that through that as well, and that further developed my brand. And plus I have my own Facebook group for copywriters. So, all those things have been building upon one another for a while now. So it's been a bit of a long road, should I say, but then most people's aren't they? There's no such thing as an overnight success. It's an ongoing journey, isn't it? So all the things I've been experiencing leading up to 2017 have now passed away for my 2018, which again, now I'm a lot more focused on exactly what my end goal is. And my vision is kind of finally it's like one of those aha moments. That was it. I was missing a little bit in the puzzle. Now I finally think, okay, that was it. I'm finally getting there. So yeah.
Okay.
2018, I think it's going to be a big year for me. I hope so.
Would you say that currently your path is, you're in like third or fourth gear, or are you already in overdrive and, not overdrive, but cruise control?
I'm not in cruise control.
No.
I'm never in cruise control.
Okay, so you're ever learning, as they say.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I think that's important.
What would you say was your biggest challenge in 2017, and how did you, if you overcame it for 2018?
I would say putting myself out there. I'm quite a shy person, believe it or not. And so I had to be quite brave. And I got in front of the camera. I was on Snapchat. Snapchat, you can, muck about with filters and stop and start. And so I started Facebook Live. I started off last year with Facebook Live. And I did a kind of video boot camp course, which really helped me being online with the camera. And now I do a weekly social media show with a colleague, Tara Tamiko, and we discuss everything that's going on in the online space. It's called the Antisocial Chat Show, and so we do that weekly now. Whereas, you know, at this time last year, I'd have just gone, I'm not getting in front of the camera. So now it doesn't, you know, I understand the value of it a bit more and the impact that, you know, I can make. So that makes me, you know, feel better about it, that I'm actually, you know, doing something of value. And I think that's key. I think when, certainly, you know, I can't speak for everyone, I can only speak for myself, but I was always really worried about what people thought of me, like, oh God, someone's going to laugh at me, or, you know. And now I think actually no one's actually looking at you online. They want value out of you. They're looking at your content, they're listening to your content, what you have to say. You see what I mean? And I think that's a big difference. Once you understand it's not about you, it's about your audience, then it's a game changer.
Yes, it is. It's like, it's amazing. I think I've been spamming people for a while now with my content, but now I see that many people do like it because it's not about me. It's about audience. It's about the community in general, and how well, you know, we can help others in growing their business. Because as we said at the beginning of the conversation, this isn't scripted. So when it's not scripted, mishaps happen, and you know, we can't really you know, just cover our mouths and not say something. We have to utter words, and that's brilliant, because this is when we learn more about ourselves as entrepreneurs. We learn about the audience. We learn about the community in general, and what we can do to improve, you know, both our status amongst the community and others. So this is the main point of Growth Talk. So many people ask me if I monetize Growth Talk or not. I am not monetizing Growth Talk. If I did, I'm pretty sure I wouldn't tape it and put it on YouTube and things like that. I think that, you know, that quite defeats the purpose. Naturally, if someone asks for it, you know, down the line, I suppose, you know, everything's possible, but that's not my intention. There are other things that I'm currently doing, like the book. The book itself is not sold for money. We tried that before. We saw that that's not the way to go, and we decided to relaunch it in PDF format, not Kindle, not anything like that. So we're not, you know, tied down to anything or anyone, and the point is to build a community around it. And if people enjoy it, network, and that helps them in growing their businesses, that's exactly what our intention.
Yeah. I have to say, your book, I was quite surprised that you gave it away for free, because, you know, it's like 100 pages, isn't it? And it really goes into things. And I was really quite impressed with it, really. I was like, wow, this is actually really good. I wish I had this when, you know, I started out. And I really love how you go into, is it the big four in your thing? And there's one particular sentence under the branding bit. Am I allowed to say this?
Yeah, sure.
And it really resonated with me. Because I see people do this a lot in copywriting, you know, with their brand message. And you said, I've wrote it, written it down, something that will look stupid in 5 years' time, change it, about your brand message. And I think that's, it really stuck to me, because sometimes I see people jump onto the latest bandwagon with their brand and everything, and use language that, you know, doesn't really travel well, shall we say, or, you know, go through time. And it's really something that is important to me, and that's the language people use, because I feel that, you know, sometimes slang or using, certainly I don't like dropping F-bombs in commercial copy. I don't think that's ever a good idea, you know, and I know a lot of people don't agree with me on that, because they think it's shocking and this and that and the other. But I'm like, yeah, but a few years down the line, it just looks naff to me. So, and I'm all about the language you use and keeping it positive and moving forward. So, you know, that's my differentiator, if you like. So I don't have a niche that of people who I write for. If it is, you know, I wouldn't say I write for small businesses, because I've written for larger brands as well. So it's more about my style and what I provide, storytelling, and keeping the language tight. So that's why your bit there really resonated with me in the brand. Oh, someone said it finally, you know. You know, so yeah, I thought it was a great guide. I highly recommend it to everyone, because it's just like, this is where it all is. It's like a little treasure trove. I'm really surprised it's not for sale. You know,
originally we did want to sell it, and apparently people, well, first of all, we thought that it didn't cut it originally on Kindle. The trouble with Kindle, and if anyone from Amazon is listening, is eavesdropping on this one, you should really work on your previewer. Doesn't do any justice. It doesn't look half as good as, you know, just releasing it in PDF format. We did everything in guerrilla marketing. I mean, we didn't pay a dime for marketing it. We already had over 400 downloads for it, and we only did, you know, like posting on Facebook, Google Plus. Many people overlook Google Plus for some reason. There are over 100 million monthly active users on Google Plus, and it's not even as stringent as Facebook is. I mean, you can spam those places. Naturally, you shouldn't, but your message could resonate way better than anywhere else. Despite that, and over 75% of the traffic came from Facebook, 5% came from LinkedIn, and the rest came from Google Plus, which is very impressive.
That's interesting, because you know, everybody's kind of looked over Google Plus for a while now, haven't they? So yeah, that's really interesting you've said that. And with your Facebook, was that paid ad, or
no?
That,
not at all. We didn't pay anything, not a single dime for it, and it's been out for 3 weeks now, and we have almost crossed the 500 downloads threshold, considering the fact that we were an unknown brand up until released the book. Originally, we wanted to sell it for $5, which is super cheap.
Yeah.
And even Josua Pena told me that this is something that I could sell for $100 or $200. So I said, look, the community and the audience is way better than selling it for $100. Maybe down the line, maybe like volume 2 or whatever, you know, if it calls for it, we'll do that. But currently, I think it's more important that people would have a beautiful tool that they could use. $100, $200 for a tool is way too expensive for a small business or a startup. This is exactly why startups use Fiverr, because they can afford tools for $200, no matter how amazing they are. You and I both know that training small business owners and startups, when it comes to marketing, when it comes to branding, when it comes to copywriting, is very hard, because I'm not sure that they're unable to pay, but they think that their money should be put somewhere else.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, when you're starting out, it's probably tough to, you know, understand where your budget is going. I can understand that, and that's one of the reasons why I did the email copywriting course, and I've got other courses planned, because really it's teaching small. It's for small business owners to you know, do email marketing for their list, how to write a compelling email, because I understand that, you know, a lot of businesses can't afford a small startups that can't afford, you know, the services of a copywriter, certainly not ongoing. Yeah. So here you go, teach yourself to do it. You know, it's like, you know, teach a man to fish and he can feed himself for a lifetime kind of adage going on there. So, you know, that's an area that I'm really interested in pursuing is actually, teaching small business owners and startups how they can better improve their copy and, do it for themselves. Because, why not? If you haven't got the budget, then you've got no choice. You have to do it yourself, really, don't you? So that's one angle anyway. But yeah, I think, copy and marketing and everything is really important for a small business. And I saw a quote somewhere the other day. I don't know who I'm quoting, so sorry if I've stolen your quote. And it said, marketing isn't part of the business, marketing is the business. And I just thought that's brilliant, because it's so true. Without, marketing or advertising yourself, then who's going to know about you? And so it makes total sense to me. And from a copywriting perspective, a lot of copywriters, I feel, so I run a community for copywriters, don't do themselves justice in the online space we're on by marketing themselves properly and appropriately, by, going on to LinkedIn or whatever platform of choice and showing their brilliant storytelling and writing skills. If you can't market yourself, how are you going to help another business? That's what people are looking at. It's a bit like, if you say I'm a social media expert and you go into their social media accounts, they've got no followers or something. I think, that's not to say these people aren't. I'm not saying that, but at least do something to show that you are. You've got this great platform to show that you're all these. The internet. You've got all the tools. If you were to say to me, I don't know, I'm great at my job, Eleanor. I'm an engineer. There's no way really I could be able to, I couldn't, unless I came into your company and saw you working, I wouldn't be able to, ascertain whether you're any good at what you do or not. But if someone's going to say, I'm a social media expert or I'm a writer, well, there's an easy way I can tell whether you are or not. I can go into your website, I can go to your social media accounts. See what I mean? So that's the way I certainly look at it. And, I want to build a strong community of writers and copywriters and really help them with that. That is my thing, because I've been in that similar situation where, getting clients is hard, getting work is hard. I didn't really know, I knew what I could offer, but I didn't know the best way to position myself to be able to offer it. And I've learned so much in the past 7 odd years, mainly by doing everything the hard way. That now I just want to help other people, because I can see them. I'm like, oh God, I was there once and I know what you're going through. It's so frustrating. But there are, things you can do to help.
That is true. I think we were talking about, the trouble is that I can't measure, how good you really are with something. Someone was talking about, should a business coach be someone that was successful in business, or should you take a business coach that, just markets oneself as, as a business coach? People were talking about, how can you help me go from 6 figures a year to 7 figures a year if you've never been to 7 figures a year? Now, let's put this on the table. People that are already successful, running 7 to 8 or 9 figures a year businesses, will never tell you when and how they failed before that. I'd rather talk to someone that has failed 100 times and was successful once than a person that was successful since beginning one's business, because that person doesn't know anything about failure.
Yeah.
He can't help a loser. He can only help winners. A winner can help winners. But a loser that became a winner can help, losers become winners. Many people, talk about, hustling and hustle love and everything and whatever, which is cool, which is great. We all call it hustling. But many people, in certain spaces, at least, I'm not going to talk about which one, but Guys, I think you know who you are. Like ABC, Always Be Closing, and, using quotes from Glengarry Glen Ross or Boiler Room or whatever. Look, guys, the world doesn't work like that anymore. That was true a decade ago, 15 years ago, and this is why you don't see it anymore. Today, people are looking for value. The value is lessons I learned from losing battles, not winning wars. Because the person who wins will never tell you where he or she lost, because they have no idea where they lost, because they were always winning. I had a couple of unsuccessful businesses before, and I don't mind saying that. And this is exactly why writing this book with my partner, or Ilak, has been a tremendous experience. And this is why people like you who know what we're talking about enjoyed the book so much. Because the book wasn't written by someone that grew up on some trust fund, went to Harvard, went to business school there, worked with KPMG. Now I'm dropping names here. I'm hoping no one would sue me for that. But has been successful, had the best journey,
and had fallback as well, had support. I think that's
and then tells me, you know what, you're doing this and you're doing that, and is surprised. Well, this worked for General Electric. Dude, I'm not General Electric. I'm a small business owner. If you can't help me, and this is exactly what we say about that in the book. The book is for small business owners and startups, people that know their business and their vertical better than anyone else, and where agencies can't and shouldn't help them, market themselves. You can market yourself to some extent. That's the point. Some people are able to grow their business from 5 figures a year to 10 figures a year. Most people aren't able to do so. You need a mindset for that, and you need the right team for that.
Yeah.
But until you're able to hire that kind of team to help you, you need to do it yourself. You need to change your mindset. You need to think about, maybe I'm doing something wrong. Maybe I shouldn't be doing what everyone else is doing. And this is when you start winning, because you change people's perception of what your business is.
Yeah, I think that's a really, really good point. Really good point you made there. Going back to your business coach analogy, the only thing I'd say about that is maybe a mindset coach could help you, definitely, or, someone who's helping you in that sense. But yeah, if it's someone saying this is what you need to do in your business, and they actually haven't ever run a business, I think and that's really interesting. And the other thing you said was always be closing. That just made me laugh, because I always say I've got an ABC: always be compelling.
But that makes sense, because always be closing is selling stuff people don't need. I see like all kinds of business coaches, and I see them on Facebook, and I see them on LinkedIn, and people say, I'm selling this course for this and this, and I'm telling you how to sell your business, how to sell products in your business and whatever. And there are people that comment and say, how exactly are you going to help me sell more? What did you sell? How much do you sell? We need transparency. No, man, we don't need transparency, because people can falsify their researches, can falsify data. It doesn't give you anything to know how many units were sold. What matters is how they were sold. I don't care about the ABC, because some people will never buy from you, no matter what you do. If you sell value, not a dream. If you sell value, people would buy from you. And this is what you need to sell. You're not selling a product. You're not selling a dream. You're selling the value behind it. Like, I'm not selling a vacuum cleaner. I'm selling you a clean house.
Yeah, exactly.
That's exactly what I need to hear. I don't need a vacuum cleaner. I need a clean house.
Yeah.
You need to listen to what your customers are saying and only then go for the sell, not the kill. They call it like go for the kill. I'm not with a quiver. I'm not shooting arrows anywhere. That's not what I'm doing.
Yeah, I like the adage, don't sell the mattress, sell a good night's sleep. And that's so true. I think most people are going back to, the old way of, kind of going in for the killer sale, always be closing. I would say to that actually the good salesman,
Mm-hmm.
back in the day, did provide value first. They were the people who told the stories, who, were really compelling and intriguing. You'd buy anything off them, you know what I mean? So I wouldn't say that this new kind of age of attraction marketing or social selling or all the different labels people call it now,
Mm-hmm.
it's an entirely new thing. Some of those sales guys, like, of yesteryear, maybe had some really good advice to give. So I wouldn't just, throw them all out. But I absolutely do see what you're saying about provide value, and don't just, sell people things they don't need, because even if they buy them, they'll never come back to you again. That's your reputation gone. So I totally get that, and providing value first, that's really what content marketing is about, or should be about anyway. So I totally get that. But then I do always look at like some of the older sales guys or the older copywriting and ad men, and see, look at the very principles they were working on, because, human psychology hasn't changed. Just the medium we use has.
No.
So yeah. But yeah, in general, I totally agree with you. But I just wouldn't. I see a lot of people. Oh, we're doing this new thing, and it's called providing value. And I'm like, well, actually, people have been providing value for a long time. All those, businesses that have lasted years and years, they did it by providing value too. You're not doing anything new. So yeah.
Yeah, it's like I think it's not that people are more educated these days. They're more desensitized to advertising. It's like they see advertising everywhere, because back in the day you saw billboards and you heard commercials, you saw commercials on TV and you heard them on the radio, whatever. Today they're following your feed.
Yeah. Yeah.
Whatever you do. You got so tired of ads that even if that ad is completely for you, it's amazing, and you need to buy this, you wouldn't buy it because you had enough of ads everywhere you go. So if you don't provide value in your ad, you're just running ads. Some people were talking about, using all kinds of PPC campaigns, and this is like the best thing in marketing. But I always say that a good marketer is someone that doesn't need to pay a dime for marketing one's business, advertising one's business, and people would come to that person and buy. Why? Because advertising online in general should be organic, while PPC, like paid campaigns, should be supporting it.
Yeah, that's a very good point.
I see GDN commercials all the time. I see Facebook ads all the time. And I even post that stuff on Facebook asking, who is this for? Like I saw an advertisement 6 or 7 months ago or something like that for a new Jaguar. And on Facebook. And I said, how did you come to the conclusion that I'm your target market? And someone told me, I forgot who said that they're not even looking for any kind of target market.
Yeah.
Selling cars means that you have a huge budget, and whoever buys it. They're like, okay, I saw this ad and it's not for me, but I have a rich friend who might be interested, so I'll tell that person. That doesn't work in paid ads. People don't share those ads.
No. It might be different if you actually bought the car and drove around it and then told your friend, actually, this is a really good car.
Exactly. So the brand recognition sells the car. The brand recognition sells the car. And this is something that in recent years, car manufacturers have been thinking about. Like back in the day, you could sell Mercedes or Audi or whatever to, upper crust members of society. Then they said, no, we're looking for brand loyalty. So the brand loyalty will start off with younger generations. So we're going to sell the A1 Audi. We're going to sell the BMW 1 Series. We're going to sell the A-Class in Mercedes. So much cheaper cars from the same brand. So it's like, okay, it's a Mercedes, but still it's a Mercedes. Naturally, it's not even close to being a real Mercedes when it comes to, the premium side of it. I've had a friend who had an A-Class and sold it and bought a Hyundai instead, and said the Hyundai gave much better value and much more premium for the same amount of money. But still, the point is that you're selling premium for a cheaper price. I remember you probably watched Mad Men back in the day.
Yeah.
And if you remember, I think it was first episode where Dawn talks to that jewelry store owner and tells her, look, people love coupons. And she said that rich people don't need coupons. And the funny part is that Dawn today would make much more money than back in the day because people are looking for coupons. And this is exactly why Macy's and Walmart and whatever are losing money to Amazon, because Amazon created an online sensation by telling you, we sell everything, buy everyone. You don't need to go to the mall. You don't need to see what it looks like. We have like virtual reality that you can use, cheapest prices, whatever. You can buy whatever you want on Amazon. I was surprised. I can buy like a Hugo Boss coat, which means that I'm going to see retargeting in 5 minutes about it, most probably, because I said that and someone is listening.
Yeah, how does that work?
But still, it's so cheap in comparison to what it used to be. So everyone can afford one. And so coupons do work because people are looking for bargains. People would always be looking for bargains. And this is why you need to talk about value and not the product. I'm giving this product for cheaper price because you can't put a real price on premium. Everyone sees that it's premium. No one would ask you how much it costs.
Yeah, I think it's a really good point because, for example, if I'm looking for a particular, say, for example, pair of shoes, a particular brand.
Yes.
I know I want that brand. I know what I want. So I'm going online. I'm going to see what I want. I'm going to go for the best price, aren't I? I'm not going to, see it somewhere else. Go, you know what? I'll pay double.
You're not going to pay double because it's not just that. If you pay the cheaper price for it, you might go for another premium product that you might buy from the same seller, the same brand, and then you got 2 premium brands in your house for the same price. And they care because they sell. And we know that they are able to sell at a reduced price because they sell us a dream. There's
absolutely.
Behind it. Amazon doesn't sell dreams. It sells the value. And this is why Amazon has won the war of e-commerce, because they sell the value and not the dream behind it.
Although I would say, going back to, your point about, the ads following you around the the internet, I wrote a blog post, I can't remember when it was, last year, about this. I called it the magic slipper, because I went online and I was looking for these kind of comfy slippers, and then the damn slipper followed me everywhere around the internet because of the pixel, you know what I mean? And it drove me bonkers. Actually, I never bought that slipper, and I never actually bothered going back to that brand because it annoyed me.
It is annoying. It's
so people say, retargeting, it's brilliant, and they get their products to follow you around the internet, but actually it doesn't work. It doesn't always work. For people like me, I find it annoying.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, don't get me wrong, some people, will just go, look, there's something that I don't really need, but I've seen it so many times, I might as well buy it. But nowadays, is that true for everyone? I don't know.
I think that if you are going to remarket something, you should wait a couple of days, show it once or twice, then wait a month, and take 3 months in between. It's like people see ads all the time. They had enough of that. It's like yesterday I received an email from Duolingo. You probably know that website.
Yeah.
Study all kinds of foreign languages. And this was a remarketing campaign. Well, it wasn't a remarketing campaign. It was a nurturing campaign. I haven't used the website for like 3 or 6 months. They haven't sent me any email for 6 months because they saw that I'm not even going online. I was talking to my wife about brushing up my French and something like that. I don't think they have such a strong pixel, but even if they do, that nurturing campaign was on the spot. It was amazing because I went straight into Duolingo and spent 4 hours studying French that day.
Cool.
So that was an amazing nurturing campaign. I would love to see the data behind it. I'd love to see.
Do you think, though, because it's funny how we can be discussing things and the next thing we get an ad about it. I mean, on our devices, we must be being recorded. I'm not being conspiratorial here.
We are recorded because it makes no sense. I was talking about all kinds of what was it?
I think that's quite scary, actually, because if they're recording, us to sell things to us, then what else are they recording?
Yes, it's like I was talking about. I think a certain vacuum cleaner or something like that, and then I saw an ad for that vacuum cleaner.
So, and that's not just coincidence.
That's not a coincidence. I mean, and it wasn't like close to springtime that I would say, okay, spring cleaning. So, it makes sense. It's not based on context anymore.
No.
It's based on sheer numbers of how many people were talking about something. And this is exactly what Amazon and Google are doing with voice search. People think that Alexa is there just to make your house smart. No, it makes Amazon and Google smarter.
Yeah. I have to say I'm not a fan of having something like that in my house.
It's cute. It's cute. I mean, I saw it at a relative's house, and everything. And it's cool, it's like, Alexa, play some music. Alexa, what time is it? Alexa, what's the weather like in, in Budapest, whatever. But it's like, but by the way, what's the weather like in Budapest? You were saying you were in Hungary. So I suppose you're in Budapest.
I'm not in Budapest. I'm about 50 miles southwest. I've got a house near Lake Balaton, which is a summer resort, and it's not summer now. So I'll be in the UK again soon.
I remember it was around the same time in Budapest 5 years ago or so. So I suppose it's snowing or snowed yesterday.
So far it's been a very mild winter, which is strange because this time last year it was about -10, but today it's like 5, you know.
5. Okay.
Nothing mild for
Very mild for the area, for Central Europe.
very, very mild. So, but I think the weather's been a bit freaky lately anyway, so I don't trust it.
So going back to that, it's like, it's cool and everything, but what do I need it for? I mean, am I that lazy? I can press a button.
Yeah.
I mean, you already have your phone in your hands, so what do you need Alexa for?
Well, I guess you become accustomed to things. It's like, back in the day, before remote control,
Yeah.
you had to actually go over and touch a button.
No, it makes sense, but people are like glued to their smartphones these days. And you have voice search on your phone anyway, so what do you need Alexa for?
I think it must be really tough for people who are leaving school now or college, or people who are brought up in this environment, because most of my life so far was spent pre-internet and pre this kind of madness. Although the internet has brought lots and lots of brilliant technology, has brought some amazing benefits, there are some downsides as well. And people just aren't, although they're connected online, they're not that connected in reality. You see it, don't you? Everybody's looking at their smartphones in restaurants, and I'm like, that's a really special, important time when you're eating with people and communing with them.
Yeah.
You shouldn't be on your smartphone. It's a time to relate, human to human, in my opinion. My kind of views seem to be on the wane.
So we're like pretending to be listening to other people while asking Alexa for, play some jazz music. I don't know, what time is it? Stuff like that. I mean, do you have a watch? Do you ever look at it? I mean, what are you asking for the time? I mean, You have a watch.
Actually, I haven't worn a watch for years. I look at my smartphone, so I'm just as bad.
So if you already have a smartphone, what do you need Alexa for?
I don't know.
You see? That's exactly what I mean.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Well, actually, I don't understand, and I'm sure somebody will come along and say, actually, this is what it's for. But it's the same with the smart watches, the Apple.
Yeah, the smart watches, that's the funny part. The smart watches are not that smart. That's the first. Second, they only last for like 2 years.
Oh,
well, a good watch would last you even 100 and 150 years. So it makes more sense, and not just that. It's not subject to any kind of viruses or whatever. You have a watch. Okay, this is dark marketing for watches. I'm going to say a brand name. No one would know. No, I'm kidding. Here. Can you see?
I can't see.
What I'm saying is that it's cool to be part of the new world, but there are merits to the old world ways.
Yes, definitely.
And this is what people need to understand.
Yeah, rather than just going all in. And, we're on a very exciting path, as humanity is on an exciting path, a very scary path as well. And we need to be aware of where we're going.
Yes.
Very aware.
Yes. That is the most brilliant message in this growth talk, that you know where we're going. So Eleanor, thank you for your time today.
Thank you for having me on your growth talk.
And you'll probably see this. I'm putting this on YouTube. So this is dark marketing for YouTube. Name dropping YouTube. You're gonna see it on Facebook. You're gonna see it on LinkedIn. Probably via email as well later on this year. So hopefully 2018 would shine its amazing sun rays on us, on everyone. And hopefully 2018 is the year to be. Yeah,
I think so. I'm very positive about this year, and so it's really nice for me to start off the year speaking to you.
Oh,
I think that's definitely a positive start to the year.
You see, I'm blushing. Here, I'll put this. You see, now I'm blushing. Thank you. And I'm really happy to learn that you like the book. and that you're sharing it with others. That's amazing. It means that it works, and it means that that it serves its purpose by giving value and giving value for free. So
yeah, absolutely. Very good value
everyone
for
is
free.
listening. It's free of charge. We're not. No one's paying for it.
Yeah, go for it.
Awesome. So we'll be in touch again, hopefully. And I'd like to, take a look at the Anti-Social Chat Show, right? That's the name of the show?
Yeah, the Anti-Social Chat Show with myself and Tara Tamika, who's a digital marketer. So we basically have a topic each week, and usually we disagree with each other, which is a bit fun.
I think disagreeing is part of agreeing, so it does make sense. To some degree, we'll agree to disagree, or we'll disagree to agree, and
yeah, we like to give people both perspectives. So
I like that. I think that's amazing. I think people need to see commentary on everything and understand that there are more than that there's more than one viewpoint of everything.
Yeah, and then you always learn something. When I speak with Tara, I'm like, oh, I didn't think of that aspect. So that's good.
Okay, great. So it was great meeting you, meeting you, Eleanor, and naturally we'll be in touch. And stay tuned because this is going to be uploaded later on today.
Okay, thank you. Bye.
Enjoy. Bye.